local and independent artists. The Homegrown Show on Bob FM.
Well, what is up, Bob Country? Brandon Backstrom here, wishing you a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. It is a beautiful day. I don't think we could ask for much better than this. But it's time for an hour of local and independent music. Today we're hanging out with the band Vintage Revival live in studio. Boys, welcome to the Homegrown Show.
Hey, Brandon. Good to be in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. This is my pleasure. Nate sent me 4 of your songs a few days ago, and I fell in love with all of them. You guys went 4 for 4 for me.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Just like great guitar riffs, soaring harmonies, and a very classic vibe that suits the name Vintage Revival. Let's talk a little bit about it and how you guys came to join forces. Who sort of put it all together? Who started this thing?
I think it was kind of a combination of Alex and I. Alex initially came over to a buddy of mine's place. We were recording tracks for him, and we're doing actually initial versions of Clear My Head, one of the tracks on our EP that we sent you. And Alex called me one day after some sessions and was like, hey, I want to start a band, but I don't really got any players. And I thought, like, I know the 2 guys. I'm going to call right away. So
I got players in my pocket
yeah,
right
so
now.
I got a hold of these 2 guys, Brady and Seth, and we've been rocking and rolling for the last almost 2 years now since. So.
And that is Nate Toggin, who is on the throne behind the drums for Vintage Revival, and he's been here before. You're the only one, though, of the group that has been in the Bob FM studios before. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. I've been pretty excited for these guys to get in here and do this. It's a good time. I love coming here.
Well, I was glad when you shot me a message saying, hey, I got another band.
Yeah.
And I love that a lot of people do that. There's a lot of different projects going on, and we'll talk a bit about that. Some of these guys also have their solo things going on. But it's really cool to kind of share your time with Chad and Jason Paulson and now Vintage Revival. So
yeah, for sure. This band has been huge. These guys are pretty much all guys I grew up with, and kind of like we were talking before the show, Seth and I grew up darn near in the same house as kids, and we've been playing together a long time. And Brady and I have known each other since middle school, high school days, and so yeah, it's kind of fun. It's come full circle.
And I like that you guys have been kind of together and playing around for about 2 years, just coming up on 2 years here now. But the new EP just came out this month.
Yep. Beginning of this month, we put out Minnesota Made. It's a 6-song EP. It's on all streaming platforms. You name it, we threw it up there. So, everything's pretty much under the handle Vintage Revival MN, whether it's our website.com or if it's on the Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all that business. So,
well, let's give them a taste right now. What do you say?
Heck yeah.
And the guys are going to play live for us in studio coming up here a bit, but we're going to start things off with one of the tunes from their new EP. It's called $33. It's Vintage Revival on the Homegrown Show.
$33 in my wallet and a bus ride home, and I'm sitting all alone on my front porch, smoking my last cigarette. Wishing that tomorrow's goodbyes would be easy to say, but it just don't seem that way. Why can't I just roll along through this? Putting up the fight of my life, trying to stay alive, dodging bullets, I just can't hide. Running through this fire they call time. Words have power, so be what you say. Give it what you got, give thanks, and walk away. Words have power, so be what you say. Give it what you got, give thanks, and walk away. Somebody's gonna throw a fork in my road. Never thought I'd say that I'm better off alone. Done believing that I'll never be good enough. Words have power, so mean what you say. Give it what you got, give thanks and walk away. Words have power, so mean what you say. Give it what you got, give thanks and walk away. $33 in my wallet and a bus ride home, and I'm sitting all alone on my front porch, smoking my last cigarette.
$33 vintage revival on the Homegrown Show, Total Country, Bob FM. I hear shades of Marshall Tucker, Leonard Skinner, the Eagles, some David Gilmour in the guitar there. Obviously, you guys were brought up on some great music. First, what are your biggest musical influences, and where do they come from? Let's run around the horn, starting with Nate here.
Man, I funny enough, I grew up with like a metalhead for a dad, so it was like Ozzy Osbourne and Pantera and all that stuff. But definitely some Led Zeppelin. But I've grown as in myself to love the old school country stuff and 90s country is big for me, that kind of stuff.
I think the more you fall in love with music, the more you realize that great music is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
In every genre,
Yeah, that's huge.
There's gold to be found in all of those places.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Seth, what about you?
So, yeah, very similar to Nate. I grew up with a rocker and a metalhead of a dad. But we had music everywhere and all kinds of music in our house growing up because my mom was a band teacher for almost 30 years, so we listened to a lot of classical music too.
I love thinking about a band teacher at a school being married to a metalhead, and having that kind of a, because that's, when I think of all the, but
yeah, and then as I got older, I just kind of branched out and listened to everything. And it's funny you mentioned that where you look, you can find that great music comes from everywhere, because I personally pull influence from all kinds of music, whether it be country, rock, blues, R&B, even hip-hop. It's all over the place. Name an artist, I could probably find some inspiration from it.
Same here. What about you, Alex?
Well, it kind of goes back to right in the beginning. I started out in some of my earliest childhood memories listening to music was the Gear Daddies.
Nice.
Billy's Live Bait. It was always playing in the car. When my mom was going to college, I was just riding around in the back seat, St. Cloud State, listening to the Gear Daddies. I remember, musically, that was kind of the earliest stuff. But, singers, Jim Morrison, Jack White. I'm a big Jack White fan. I love that kind of stuff. The Delta Blues guitar stuff. Justin Johnson. Big Billy Strings guy.
It's pretty diverse there, yeah.
Tyler Childers, Coulter Wall, we play that stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of vibes. So.
Very cool. Brady, what about you?
Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of Elvis and Beach Boys, things like that. Growing up, my dad was kind of into the '60s, '70s rock era, and then as I got older, listened to country radio with my mom in the car going to school, and grew into heavy metal and kind of everything that you could think of, and now we're here just kind of enjoying this vibe, that vintage vibe.
Well, I loved something about like when all those different influences come together and create something original, and that's like when my favorite bands growing up, I remember hearing about their influences and being like, what? Like Corey Taylor from Slipknot loves Elton John. That's not one I would have guessed, when you're listening to Wait and Bleed or whatever,
Right.
And it's like, again, as I said, the more you love music, the more you realize good stuff is everywhere and people can surprise you. But so that's very cool. And I know you guys have been out playing a lot of shows lately. You recently did one with the Devin Worley Band. How was that? Those guys are a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We
Yeah.
had a good time.
We had a blast. Those guys, just that kind of run in with them and kind of experiencing a show and listening to them talk about, how they run their operation. We learned a lot from them. And we had a kind of a fun chat with Devin after the show and just kind of, she talked about, when they're on the road and how that is and, all that fun stuff and kind of the gigging life and that stuff. And I mean, none of us are real strangers to it. We've all been doing it for the last decade at least. And,
Right.
and, but it was just cool hearing from a band that's been in it.
Yeah, certainly experienced. They have been around the block and done a wide range of different shows. I mean, they've, I believe, shared the stage with like Snoop Dogg and stuff like that, playing at Sturgis.
That's right.
And so they and again, that's you guys have a lot to share with other up and coming bands too, and that's a big part of the community here. Everybody encouraging each other and letting just telling each other what they've learned on the road and at all these shows. And yeah, there's a lot to be said about the community here. Really just kind of backing each other up. It is a beautiful Memorial Day weekend here in Bob Country. You're listening to The Homegrown Show, and we're hanging out with the band Vintage Revival live in studio, and it's time for some live music. Boys, what are you going to play for us?
We're going to play a little song called Gravel Road.
I love it. Take it away.
My 40 just to get a good check, stacking up the overtime, working like a dog every single day so the bills don't get behind, counting the days just to get through the haze, dreaming about Saturday night, living to work, gotta work to live, everything will be just fine. I got stoned as a gravel road, heavy bloodshot eyes. I don't know what time I got back home when I rolled on in last night. All I know is that there's blood on the floor and my truck's piled up outside. I don't know what I did last night, but I know I had a damn good time. I got a stressed out head, I'm fed up with it. Think I'll go out for a drive, hit a dusty road and fire up some smoke, crank up the country gold, loaded like the barrel of a gun, and I'm headed out of my mind. I don't know how the hell I got here, but it feels like I'm barely alive. I got stoned as a gravel road, heavy bloodshot eyes. I don't know what time I got back home when I rolled on in last night. All I know is that there's blood on the floor and my truck's piled up outside. I don't know what I did last night, but
Revival live on the Homegrown Show, Gravel Road. You can hear the recorded version of that song everywhere you stream great music, but I love this acoustic version, and I like that it seems to have maybe inspired another project from these guys. Right away, they said that you've never played these songs this style before. Usually you're full drums, electric guitars, just, 100% rock and roll, and stripping it down felt pretty good for you guys, and I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took us this long to do that, actually.
Hey, whatever it takes, better late than never. I think it's a great idea, though, to do like a little acoustic EP or something like that to just, have a little fun with it. I think that's great.
Yeah, I can't believe we never thought of that.
I love that song. It's a fun tune. And Seth, I love what you're doing on there. Great lead work, and then also the harmonies. When did you start singing harmonies?
Great question. For as long as I can remember, I've at least known how to sing. I think once my mom taught me what harmony is, I just kind of became obsessed with singing harmonies, and I honestly think I sing better harmonies than I do leads.
You guys sound fantastic, and you and Alex, your voices really do mesh perfectly together.
Thank you. We had somebody at a show one time come up to one of us and be like, "Are you guys brothers?"
Yeah, are you brothers? Are you related?
Not related at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I can see why people would think that. It definitely has a blood harmony kind of vibe. You guys are blood brothers. You might not be brothers by birth, but you're brothers through harmony, that's for sure.
He's a better looking one.
Oh, stop.
You guys are both handsome gentlemen. Well, what do you say we go for round 2 of live music?
All right.
What do you guys got for us this go-round?
The song's called Clear My Head.
Take it away. Vintage Revival live on the Homegrown Show.
Headlights roll down the highway at night, the taillights are always red. Get out the door pretty early in the morning, but I always make it back to bed. Drove the speed limit across the state today, tried to get me a little more bread. Made it through traffic on the interstate, and I wanna go clear my head. Just wanna go clear my head. Just wanna go clear my head. Just wanna go clear my head. Telephone wire and high line strung out on the poles in the ditches bed. Driving back to town on a county line road, just trying to do what they said. 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 Doesn't matter if it's day or night, gotta hit the road again. No bread in my pocket, it ain't worth living. Gotta find a better way instead. I 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 gotta find a better way instead.
my head. Vintage Revival live on the Homegrown Show. That's how it's done right there. Boys, that's excellent.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that a lot.
And again, those tunes are available on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music,
Yep.
YouTube. You got YouTube channel. You guys
Got a
gonna
YouTube
have any
channel.
plans to shoot videos? Videos are coming back.
Actually, we have, before we even put out the EP, we did an entire set of live, like in studio looking live performances of all 6 of these songs at Crow River Guitar and Sound with
Nice.
the owner Dan over there.
Yeah, Dan Gustafson at Crow River
Yeah.
Guitar and Sound.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
super
check
cool guy.
that
If
out.
you need a guitar, if you need strings or anything, go hit up
And I
Dan
love
at
a
Crow
little
River.
shop like that. Yeah, forget Guitar Center, stuff like that. Go Crow River.
Yep. Or
I-
Fat Freddy's Music out in Wilmer, and then there's Larry and Hutchinson
Yep.
at
Dostals.
Dostal Electric. And
Keep those guys in business. I
Yeah, for
remember
sure,
growing
yeah.
up in Coon Rapids, Blaine, that area. There were a couple music stores local to me that are long gone now, and I miss them, like Danny and Cindy's.
Yeah.
I would go in there. You know, I like the little ma pa shop music store, and now like they're going extinct. So we got to do what we can to keep them in business. Pick up your strings and picks and whatnot from Crow River.
they have a great rewards program too.
There you go. Do you work for them? Are they paying
I
you
wish
for
I
this?
did. We
Yeah.
talked about it.
He's a
before.
rewards member.
No, Dan's just a good friend, Dan Gustafson, and he's
Hey.
a great guy. He's got some of the most unique guitars you've ever seen in there. So
Oh,
yeah.
swing on in and just take a look around.
I've been out that way, and I know because Gronky is
Yeah,
out
he's
there
a
too.
longtime customer
Yeah.
of Dan's too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. I love it. So Vintage Revival live here in studio tonight on the Homegrown Show. We'll talk some more with the boys. Total Country Bob FM, hanging out with the band Vintage Revival live in studio. Boys, it's been super fun here tonight. You guys have great music, great attitudes. I just like hanging out with all of you. Nate, we go way back, but I just met these guys for the first time, and I just want to say thanks for being here, especially on Memorial Day weekend. You could be doing anything right now, and the weather is like calling my name. I don't know about you, but I want to be like out on the water somewhere doing something like that. But so thanks a lot for being here in the studio with me today.
Thank you so much for having us, man. It's been a blast.
Let's remind the people where they can find you guys online, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can find all of our socials under Vintage Revival MN, vintagerevivalmn.com. You'll find links to literally everything we have on the internet. That's going to be your best bet. We're on Facebook under Vintage Revival MN, Instagram, all that fun stuff. All the stuff the kids use.
What about TikTok?
TikTok, we haven't gotten there yet.
You got to do it, unfortunately.
We're working on it.
It seems to be working real well for some people I know. And, yeah, whatever. It's just another platform, another thing to worry about. But,
Right.
but it's a lot of fun. I think you guys are fantastic. We got to take one more break, and we'll close things out here with the band Vintage Revival. Don't go nowhere. And here we are at the end of the show with the band Vintage Revival. Guys, an hour just flies by. I don't know what to tell you. I wish it was longer.
Right.
Yeah, we know.
Us too.
We could definitely play more.
I feel it. I can tell you guys could keep on going all night long.
We might just sit in the lobby and play for you the rest of the night.
Feel free to do that. I don't have to pay attention to the four outdoorsmen at all. I can just keep walking out into the lobby. Well, Seth, Alex, Brady, and Nate, thank you so much for being here. Let's let the people know again where they can find you online. Any upcoming shows or anything you want to plug, this is the time.
You can find us everywhere on Vintage Revival MN on Instagram, Facebook. That's also our website, so vintagerevivalmn.com. And you can find us everywhere on streaming platforms at Vintage Revival.
Cool. Anything else? Any parting words? Any words of wisdom?
I think we just booked a pretty cool spot with you. If you wanna.
Oh, we'll keep that under our under wraps for a
think,
minute,
like,
but
there's gonna be like a bunch of shows coming up this summer. We got a couple street dances, doing the Gibbon Fun Fest.
We got Renville County
Renville
Fair,
County
Corn
Fair.
Shaft Days.
Stewart Fest, whenever that'll be.
so you guys are making the rounds. I love it. This is such a great time of year, and I expect big things from you guys because I think you got a fantastic sound, just a great vibe all together, and yeah, it's good stuff. We'll definitely do this again. You guys are welcome back at the Homegrown Show anytime.
Thank you so much again for having us, man.
We got Bob Outdoors coming up next, the Four Outdoorsmen, followed by Real Talk Outdoors. Next week on the Homegrown Show, we're hanging out with my friends leaving Pagetown. Have a great Memorial Day, everybody. Stay safe, have fun, enjoy. We'll catch you next week on the Homegrown Show. Until then, peace.
Well, it took so damn long to by the ink on my skin. By the time that I come back into town, no, you ain't coming with, so don't ask me to go. 'Cause this time I'm rolling out all on my own. I've been running and chasing after all of these things that I know I shouldn't have. Now that you're gone and I'm always alone, I know I'm on a way better path. That lonesome feeling always goes away when she wraps her arms tight around me. So we can be friends or go dancing instead. Just don't leave that up to me. I've been gone for so long, just to run into the city, back home in the country where I belong. I've been gone for so long, just to run into the city, back home in the country where I belong. Well, all of my friends, they up and left me. Wonder if they were even my friends to begin. Now the way that I roll is close homies only. Tagged on the train as I drive in my car. 'Cause you can ride with if you get up real early. Hold my hand if you want to when we walk out the door. 'Cause you can ride with if you get up real early. Hold my hand if you want to when we walk out the door.